Hi fans, I'm the PC Expert Amateur and this is episode 26 of the airflow and pressure differential comparison of 120 millimeter fans. And as always, I want to remind you that this is my anemometer and unfortunately doesn't have enough precision in the area field, so I can't get the figures for the airflow to be exact. And as a consequence, the larger the airflow is, the more distorted the number becomes. The lower numbers are fairly accurate, the high ones are not. So the numbers may not reflect reality. However, because the problem is consistent from one fan to the next, I can still rank the fans by airflow. Just want to make sure you're aware of that. And I use cubic meters per hour, not cubic feet per minute. Today, we're going to be looking at the Akasa quiet fan. This is the model AK-174BK-S. Also, the AAB Cooling Economy Fan 12, the Silenx Effizio 120 EFX-12-15B, the EBM-Papst W2G107-AD01-48. This is all metal, really heavy. And you can see they put all the specs right on the hub there, which I think is pretty cool. Convenient, at least. And the Asiahorse fishbone, which comes in this generic box with a sticker on it. And it looks like this. Now that we've got that out of the way, if you did not watch yesterday's video where I informed everybody that there was a major change to the chart, please make sure to watch that video as it explains what I did and why I did it. The point is that I had made a silly mistake with the formulas it's going to have some kind of an effect on the rankings of the fans. I'm not really sure if it's going to be that significant or not, but I think it will, for certain fans, be significant, whereas many other fans, it's not going to have any effect whatsoever, because a lot of fans, there's only one measurement for minimum and maximum of airflow and RPMs and the maximum pressure for the pressure differential. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the RPMs of the 5 fans that I've just shown you. And I want you to write in the comments which fan you think will be the worst for airflow and the worst for pressure differential, and which one you think will be the best. So let me bring that up on the screen for you. And here we go. We can see the Akasa has the lowest RPMs at 1380, expected of 1200 RPMs. The Silenx is the next at 1414.8. Expected was 1400. The AAB Cooling is significantly better at 2023.4. Expected was 2000. The Asiahorse was 2640. Expected was 2500. And the EBM-Papst was 3667.4. Expected was 2800. Now, the reason that this one is so much higher than the published rate is that for most fans, there is a variance in the amount of voltage that's being used. So, for example, for this fan, it's considered a 12-volt fan, but it varies between 8 to 16 volts. So I accidentally pumped it all the way up to 24 before I remembered that, oh no, it doesn't go to 24. So I backed off really quickly. No damage was done, fortunately. And I put it at 16, and that's the result I got. You can see it was 0.4 amps when I had it at 16 volts. So go ahead in the comments and put your guesses now. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. This is just a little thought experiment. Try to learn more about fans. And please don't change it if you're wrong. It doesn't matter if you're wrong, please. And here are the airflow results. And maybe you're not surprised. The Akasa is the worst at 130.2. And the EBM-Papst is the best at 331.8. Again, these are not the higher number are, the less accurate they are in terms of compared to reality. So we can see the Silenx remained in second place, the AAB is in third place, the Asiahorse is in fourth place, or rather I should say fifth place to first place, sorry. So let's go ahead and take a look at pressure differential and see if you got those guesses right. And again, same order as before, 60, 65, 70, 73, and 75 with the AAB Cooling just barely beating out the Asiahorse. And I'm sorry, it wasn't the same order. My apologies. And the EBM-Papst, despite having very high RPMs, did not have a significantly higher amount of pressure differential in degrees, and only 70. Still good, and it's going to put it in the top quarter, or the best quarter, I believe, or quartile, but we'll see that in a minute. Let's go ahead and take a look at the whole list. All right, so let me get rid of that, and we can see that the Kingwin, as always, has the lowest RPM. The Segotep and Akasa are in the first quartile, and we can see the Silenx is just barely in the second quartile, along with, oops, what's that? Oh, that's not supposed to be lit up. Sorry, hold on a second here. Sorry about that. So the Akasa and Silenx are in the first quartile. The AAB is in the third quartile, and the Asiahorse and the EBM-Papst are in the fourth quartile, making them really, really good. The EBM-Papst, again, is not surprisingly, because it's got such a high revolution rate. Now, please keep in mind that RPMs are not a major deciding factor. Well, they are an important factor, but they are not a clear-cut thing that indicates how much airflow or how much pressure differential you're going to get with a fan. And now, based on pressure differential, let's shift this over here. And whoops, sorry about that. We can see that with the Lambtron and the worst place, followed very closely by the UNM Life, nothing from that R5 is in the first quartile. And the Akasa, I think, is actually in the third quartile along with the Silenx. And then the EBM-Papst, the Shenzhen, the Asiahorse, and the AAB Cooling are in the fourth quartile. So we've got some strong contenders. And all these fans, these three fans, are newer fans, whereas the Akasa and Silenx are older fans. So you can see how they rank. And finally, let's take a look at airflow. And again, none of them are in the first quartile, which is interesting. And the Akasa is in the second quartile. Silenx is in the third quartile. And the EBM-Papst, Asiahorse, and AAB Cooling are in the fourth quartile. So that's, I mean, I kind of thought that the three of these might be in the third or fourth quartile, but didn't expect it to be quite that good. So if we just scoot this over, you can take a look at RPMs and see how they do or don't relate to the fan's performance. I'll just let you see the whole list. And you can come up with your theories. And if you ever feel comfortable sharing your theories as to why the results are as they are, I would love to hear it. One thing that's pretty interesting is that when we look at the results, oh my gosh, I thought I had sorted this on airflow, but apparently I didn't sort it on, I did sort it, but it didn't work. So I apologize. I'm going to have to sort this again. I don't know what I did wrong, but every once in a while, every day, I make mistakes because I'm human. All right, so here we go. So now we can get the correct airflow, and in this time, because I didn't make a mistake this time, the Akasa is, I think, in the first quartile, or it's in the very beginning of the second quartile there. The Silenx is definitely in the second quartile still. The AAB Cooling is in the fourth quartile with the Asiahorse and the EBM-Papst being in the top 5. So very interesting. So yeah, again, if you have any theories on why fans end up in the quartile that they're in, or in the specific rank that they're in, based on RPMs, airflow, and pressure differential, and you'd like to share that, I would love to see your theories on that. So that's it for today. I hope that if you're looking for fans, this has proved to be helpful for you. Please keep in mind that airflow fans are great for exhaust, but if they do not have good static pressure, which is not the same thing as pressure differential, then they are not good for intake. Okay, so if it has a high static pressure, it's great for intake. If it has a high airflow, it's great for exhaust. If it has both, then it can do both. All right. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.
I need to ask for your help. Things have been challenging. Whose life hasn't been challenging lately? So if you can please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications, that would be really, really super. Also, if you'd like to help me financially and you can't afford to, you can do a super thanks on my Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, or you can become a member there. Or if you prefer, you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII and become a member there instead. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Bleeping Computer for their support of my channel. If you need resources for computers, for getting rid of malware and learning about cybersecurity and stuff, Bleeping Computer, BLEEPING computer.com is a great resource. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.